Nutty Sports Gamer here with the final season of the 40-year NBA Sim. It's finally here. We finally made it. It's almost over. Just a couple more episodes left. And right now we are celebrating the ring ceremony of the 2022 NBA champions in this sim. And that would be the Philadelphia 76ers, who defeated the Seattle Supersonics. Kevin Durant and the Sonics. And you can see the champions here, or at least whoever's left from. I think there was a bit of a busy offseason. I don't think I made too many changes between this season and the next. But there are a couple that I'm pretty sure we're done during the offseason. But yeah, there's Yuta Watanabe, who's a champion. And what I remember from the 2022 76ers team is they're a bit top heavy. Their big three was very effective. They had some nice role players, but they weren't exactly deep. Now Watanabe was pretty decent for them. Campazzo was their backup point guard, but they weren't as loaded as say the Clippers teams that won back-to-back championships in 2020 and 2021. So yeah, it's interesting to see how we end up with different champions throughout this sim. Usually you need a big star, a big franchise star, and in this case Steph Curry for the Sixers was that star. For the Clippers in the past it was Kawhi, right? Kawhi, and then they had a nice second star in John Wall. Kawhi did, and Steph Curry has Kevin Love and Jimmy Butler. There's Zubats winning I believe his first championship in this sim. But then before that, you had LeBron and the Lakers with, I think, was that Kyrie in that team? I think Kyrie was in that team. Then you had like Kevin Durant and the Heat with Anthony Davis and Chris Paul. So yeah, it seems like, generally speaking, there haven't been that many situations where there was simply a team that had a lot of really good players. I think maybe the closest example to that would have been maybe the '05 Trailblazers, who had, I think, Rip Hamilton and Rasheed Wallace and Damon Stoudemire. Yeah, that '05 Blazers team is definitely one of the few interesting cases where you had a team that maybe didn't have a generational superstar, but just a really well-built team. But the Sixers, I think they would be the case of having a generational superstar like Steph Curry, for sure, with Kevin Love and Jimmy Butler. Hell of a trio. And I mean, although it is weird, right, that Kevin Love is still as good as he is in this sim at this particular time in his career, because as we know in real life, right now he's still playing. He's on the Heat, but his career is winding down quite a bit. But there they are with all their rings, and here's the banner. 2022 World Champions, the Philadelphia 76ers, their third championship in the Curry era. As you can see, their team, not much has changed at all. They've still got Harrison Barnes and Zubats in their starting lineup. Gary Harris now is on the team. He's going to add some shooting. DJ Wilson. I think those are your only major differences. I don't think anybody else here is going to be in the rotation. Trae Young of the Bucks with Anthony Edwards, Bruce Brown Jr., Evan Mobley, and Daniel Gafford. I really do think this team is going to be a playoffs caliber team this season. PJ Washington, Gallinari, they could be quite good for sure. And you'll see the Bulls. They have Kyrie Irving, Tyler Hero, Josh Richardson, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Vukovic. This is a pretty darn good team. 2K's power ranking doesn't really make that much sense to me, but I actually think the Bulls could be quite good this season with Giannis and Kyrie. It could be a fun duo. Then you have the Cavs: Ben Simmons, Donovan Mitchell, Joe Harris, Blake Griffin, Rudy Gobert. They've been pretty damn good. Blake Griffin's still a decent player. Whenever we jump into games, he's not really the standout. You still got Joakim Noah in the rotation, but Rudy Gobert, I think he might have been one of the offseason acquisitions that the Cavaliers made, because yes, he's now their starting center. That could be interesting. Yeah, DeJounte Murray, Zach LaVine, Brandon Ingram, Al Horford, and Karl Anthony Towns, the starting five for the Celtics. You remember they got embarrassed in round one of last season. We'll see if they can prevent themselves from getting a similar embarrassment here. But you can see their bench: Dorian Finney-Smith, Cody Zeller, Norman Powell, Kendrick Nunn, Nasir Little. Pretty solid bench, if I do say so myself. You get the Clippers: John Wall, Victor Oladipo, Kawhi Leonard, Kyle Kuzma, Jakob Poeltl, Hartenstein, Denzel Valentine, Luke Kennard, Peyton Pritchard. Maybe their bench isn't quite as good, but that starting five is pretty tops. It's pretty. They're still pretty loaded at the top there. Then you get the Grizzlies with Tyrese Halliburton, Karis LeVert, Andrew Wiggins, Marvin Bagley Jr., Jonas Valanciunas, Jabari Parker. And then they drafted somebody interesting, didn't they? They drafted Bankero, I think, is who they drafted. I think he's still on the team. Muscala, Simons. I don't think I moved him or anything like that. Maybe I did. 'Cause I'm not seeing him there. Oh, there he is. Never mind. Okay, he's at a 70 overall, so it's going to be a little while before Bankero really sees some significant playing time. Unfortunately for this sim, I don't think we'll be seeing much of him at all, because by the time he actually gets it going, it would be beyond the 40-year sim. I do think this Grizzlies team could be interesting beyond the 40-year sim, but unfortunately, we won't really be able to see that development, that growth, that evolution. The Hawks: Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Devin Booker, Jaylen Brown, Jaren Jackson Jr., Jarrett Allen. I mean, this team has been building towards this. They should be quite elite this season. This should be a fun team to jump into games, because their starting five is pretty much like an all-star team. SGA, Booker, Jaylen Brown, the Triple J, uh, Jared Allen, Marcus Smart, having an elite point guard coming off the bench. Now he's coming off the bench because whenever I put Marcus Smart as a starter on a team, the team sucks. So it seems like, at least in 2K, at least in the sim, it seems to work better when he's coming off the bench as a starting, not coming off the bench as a reserve point guard off the bench. I don't know why I'm having a tough time saying that. Tim Hardaway Jr. is coming off the bench as well for this Hawks team. Uh, and then you got Malik Beasley. So this team is loaded. I mean, if they might have a chance to win a championship. Maybe knock off the Sixers on their way to a championship this season. I definitely could see. They see JaVale McGee is still around, still hanging around. Taj Gibson as well. So here's the Heat: Chris Paul, DiVincenzo, Paul George, Anthony Davis, Jalen Duren, their rookie center. Got Davis Bertans, Cam Johnson, Evan Fournier, Luke Cornett, Miles McBride. Also a really good team. Also pretty darn good. I don't know if they're quite as strong as even the Hawks, but I still like them. Then you got the Hornets: Jordan Poole, Dennis Smith Jr., Avery Bradley, Michael Porter Jr., Jeremy Sochan, uh, and then Nick Claxton, Tyus Jones, Doug McDermott. I don't expect much from this team this year. Just going to say that. I don't think they'll be very good. Jazz are also kind of so-so. Patrick Beverly, Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner, Thaddeus Young, Andre Drummond. I like, Suggs a little bit. Franz Wagner is a good player. I think down the road, Wagner would be a nice guy to build around. Keegan Murray and Sengun, right? I think you could see where they could be good down the road, but not this year. The Kings could be White, Klay Thompson, Mikal Bridges, Miles Bridges, DeAndre Jordan, John Jenkins. They get some nice players. They could maybe sneak into the playoffs. The Knicks are probably still going to be very bad. Dennis Schroeder, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Luke Mbamute, Obi Toppin, Dwight Howard, a very old Dwight Howard at this point, Herbert Jones, Larry Nance Jr., Wade Baldwin IV, Caleb Martin, Chet Holmgren. Yeah, they're definitely not going to be very good this season. Then you got the Lakers with Kyle Lowry, Bradley Beal, LeBron James, Maxi Kleber, Nerlens Noel, Pat Connaughton, Alex Caruso, Torian Prince, Dwight Powell, Marquise Chris. I can't believe he's still on a team. Lakers are going to be pretty good, though. Magic, Dame Lillard, KCP, Derrick Jones Jr., Julius Randle, Yusuf Nurkic, Ricky Rubio, Robert Williams III, Iman Shumpert. I mean, they're not terrible on paper. Their bench is got a lot of old players and just, I don't know. Then you got the Mavericks: Kemba Walker, Kevin Huerter, Alec Burks, Jermichael Green, Greg Oden. No, not much good about this team either. Kemba Walker is not as good as his 91 rating states. Don't take too much stock in that rating because we don't see his numbers here, but they weren't very good last year, so he's kind of bouncing around at this point in his career, and the Mavericks seem like the only sensible spot for him to go. But yeah, the Mavericks are kind of a long way from where they were just a couple seasons ago. Then you get the Nets: Thomas Satoransky, DeMar DeRozan, OG Anunoby, Draymond Green, DeAndre Ayton, Jock Landale. I feel like they have a lot of good pieces, but doesn't really work as a team. The Nuggets: Darius Garland, Doncic, Porter, Siakam, Jokic, Jeremy Lin. This team is quite talented. Precious Achua. We'll see if they can put it together. Pacers: Ja Morant, Tyreek Evans, DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, Hassan Whiteside, Wilson Chandler. They got a mix of some interesting young players, Desmond Bain, for example, and obviously John Morant, but and Nikola Jovic. Another team where you can kind of see it down the road, but maybe not right now. The Pelicans: Drew Holiday, Fred VanVleet, Chris Middleton, Christian Wood, Brooke Lopez, Shetty Osman, Jalen Smith. This team is, they're pretty garbo without Giannis. The Pistons: Jamal Murray, Austin Rivers, Justice Winslow, Markkanen, Cousins. They're just, yeah, this team is they're just not overtly impressive. The Raptors too: Cole Anthony, Nikhil Alexander Walker, Scotty Barnes. Yeah, there's really not much to say about this team. They're going to be quite awful, I would expect. I mean, Enes Kanter is still around. So yeah, I don't expect much for them. The Rockets: Fultz, James Harden, Allen Crabbe, Zion Williamson, Bam Adebayo. They got some, they have a big three of sorts. The rest of the team, not quite so good. Sonics: De'Aaron Fox, Nick Batum, Kevin Durant, Serge Ibaka, Miles Turner. I really liked this starting five last year. Terry Rozier coming off the bench, Harry Giles, Kent Bazemore. Yeah, I like the starting five a lot. They made it to the finals. We're running it back. Hopefully they can actually win the championship this time around. Mike Conley, T.J. McCollum of the Spurs, Jason Tatum, Tobias Harris, Steven Adams. Another decent. I don't know. We'll see if they can do much. But the Spurs are a disappointment. They're a 40-year sim disappointment that never made the conference finals for the entire 40 years, which is crazy. The Suns: Russell Westbrook, Jeremy Lamb, Camille Anthony, Joe Ingles, Domantas Sabonis. Aside from Sabonis, this team is getting quite old. And I kind of expect them to falter a little bit. The Thunder: Lonzo Ball, Jalen Green, Robert Covington, Grant Williams, Mitchell Robinson, George Hill, Angie Shamet, T.J. Warren. Some nice names. Markieff Morris too. They got a couple of nice guys, but maybe not a super impressive team. The Wolves: Jalen Brunson, Lance Stevenson, Kyle Anderson, Porzingis, Tristan Thompson, Derrick Rose, Derek White. Yeah, I'm running out of breath. They're okay. Isaiah Thomas on the Blazers, Josh Hart, Dylan Brooks, Aaron Gordon, Clint Capella. Another so-so team. I don't know if we should expect much from them, but yeah. The Vipers: D'Angelo Russell, Malcolm Brogdon, Jeremy Grant, Brandon Wright, Joel Embiid, Malik Monk, Moutier, Len, Quickly. I like their players. I like what they got. They might make the playoffs again. Warriors: LaMelo Ball, R.J. Barrett, Gordon Hayward, Derek Favors, Kevon Looney, Buddy Hield. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if we should expect much from the Warriors. Then you got the Wizards: Kate Cunningham, Colin Sexton, Jonathan Isaac, Jaleel Okafor, Jackson Hayes. This team, oddly enough, kind of works. You wouldn't think it, but they actually have some nice complementary pieces and could maybe have another sneaky playoff run. But you could see the off-season moves. I made most of the moves like right before the season started to kind of, yeah. So you can see there what the moves are. I don't know if I have time to say. You already saw the rosters, so yeah, you can just kind of like put two and two together as far as there's where some of the trades that were made to get the rosters where they ended up, right? D'Angelo Russell going to the he was in the Hornets for a little while. I forgot about that. Let's get into some games. Let's move on from all that. This is the last opening weekend, really the opening month of the season type episode that I'm doing. I used to cover all 30 or 32 NBA teams, but it got really hard to do that. Now it's just we're just covering the first month of the NBA. But you can see it's 112, 111. And you got Harrison Barnes missing a three, Zubats missing a basket, Burks with the rebound, Alec Burks. And the Mavericks trying to keep that 1-point lead, maybe expand it. They do expand it after that dunk, but the Sixers threatening to take the lead now. Kevin Love with the basket. 117, 114 now. The score, Kevin Huerter. Want to see some Kevin Huerter highlights. Maybe a nice pass. That's a nice pass. Greg Oden still in the league, making a basket. Then you got Ennis, Tyler Ennis to Jeff Green? Jermichael Green? I think it's Jermichael Green. To Ennis for the missed three-pointer. Jimmy Butler with the rebound. And here is the mid-range jumper. He misses it. Kevin Love with the dunk. 121, 116. Here's Ennis with the missed shot. And this is looking like a Sixers victory. It feels like they are back to where they were. Zubats with the dunk. Yeah, they're a well-oiled machine at this point. 127, 119 final score. Let's move on. Heat. Wolves. Was that a Brunson jump shot? I think it was. No, it wasn't. There's a bad pass by Jalen Brunson. DiVincenzo taking the ball, passing it to Paul George with a nice dunk, a ferocious dunk. You got Jalen Brunson with the pass to Thomas with the dunk. And Jalen Duren to Paul George. Didn't make it. Duren does get the rebound and basket. Duren could be a very interesting rookie to watch because he's on a team with a lot of good players, and all he needs to do is basically be a solid enough rim protector and dunk it and do that, right? Tip-ins like that. 106, 105, Lance Stevenson with the missed jumper. I'm glad that Lance Stevenson's still around. Always enjoyed watching him in real life. There's Anthony Davis making a basket. Anthony Davis, career Miami Heat player. No big trades involving him in this sim. But here's Kyle Anderson with the layup there. And the Wolves take a 1-point lead. Jalen Brunson. Really starting to see Jalen Brunson take off. But there's a missed shot there for the Wolves. 1-point game. Paul George with the alley-oop. Is that Duren again? There it is. Duren can get a lot of opportunities like that playing for this team. Get Anthony Davis making a basket. Yeah, with Anthony Davis in the front court as he makes a jumper, Duren doesn't really have to do that much. He just has to not suck for them. So, yeah, the Heat win 119, 109. And, yeah, it could be a very interesting rookie to watch for that team. The Bulls versus the Hawks. SGA handling the ball. We got Jarrett Allen receiving the pass, making the basket. Denny Abedi. That's all, folks. Can't pronounce his last name. Jaylen Brown with the jumper. Now here's a pass to Booker to SGA. Getting the layup there. 108, 103. Vukovic passing it to Hero. And he's going to pull up for a jumper, sink it. The Bulls looking pretty impressive. They have an impressive starting five. They really do. As you see Kyrie Irving making a three. 113, 105. I mean, I don't really expect them to go deep in the playoffs, but I do think they could be a fun team to watch during the regular season. Maybe they can win a series or two. But there's Vukovic with a steal. They're putting it to the Hawks right now, who arguably have a better roster. But you see a basket there. 130, 125. The Bulls win. Maybe we'll see Kyrie as the cover athlete of this episode. It's very possible, but we'll find out. There's a basket there by Colin Sexton watching the Wizards versus the Grizzlies. After their run in the playoffs last year, the Wizards definitely have my interest. As you see a made three there for the Grizz. I think that was Halliburton. Nice to see some Halliburton highlights. Cade Cunningham missing the three. Valanciunas with the rebound. 94-92 Wizards with the lead. As you get to see some more Halliburton action. Nice to see some of these young players to kind of get their shine in this sim. Made 3 by Halliburton. How about an alley-oop pass to Jonathan Isaac? Now here's a pass to Valanciunas for a dunk. It's a tie game between the Grizzlies and the Wizards. A Wiseman dunk. Wizards up by 2. Now we got Tyrese Halliburton with a missed 3. I don't know why he didn't try to get that rebound, but now the Wizards are going to take the ball up court. Cade Cunningham getting past his defender. Maybe, yes. Makes the basket. 103-101 now is the score. Less than a minute left to go. Colin Sexton with the pass to Jonathan Isaac. He can make threes. He can make threes. In this sim, at least. Whoa, and that happened. We're going to overtime. We're in overtime. 20 seconds left. And pretty much this is over. Because you just need to foul him. And then he just needs to make a few free throws. And it looks like he's going to do that to great success. Yeah, I think it's safe to say this game is over. The Wizards do win 124-117 despite 43 points from Andrew Wiggins. That is surprising and unexpected. Let's watch the Hornets versus the Celtics. See if the Hornets can keep up with this talented Celtics squad. So far they are, but Cat makes a bucket for Boston. And then we got Avery Bradley with the pass to Michael Porter Jr. Basket no good. Claxton gets it in there after getting the rebound. I realize most of this Hornets team are just former Clippers players from their championship team. You got Claxton, who's on the Clippers. You got Michael Porter Jr. You got a dunk by Zach LaVine there, but also Dennis Smith Jr. and Avery Bradley. It's kind of fun to see it all on the same team. There's Zach LaVine with a dunk, tying the game at 104. Cat versus Claxton. Who's going to win this matchup? Cat with the rebound and the basket. So 106-104 is the score now. Karl-Anthony Towns with the pass to Brandon Ingram. The missed shot. Cat rebound bucket. Tie game at 108 though. We got DeJounte Murray with the pass to Cat. Back to basket. And he's going to dunk the ball on Claxton. Can he do it again? Can he do it again? Here's another one-on-one matchup. Gets the rebound. Oh, man, he's making Claxton look like a fool. 112-110. Final score there. Moving along. Speaking of the Clippers, here they are facing the Pistons. Got Olynyk to Markkanen. And Markkanen makes the basket. How about Kelly Olynyk, the Olynyk Clinic, making the 3, 98-96. Lowry Markkanen also making the 3. How about Oladipo missing? Man, really, I feel like you haven't really seen much of Oladipo in this sim really pop off. I guess he did pretty well in the Hornets for a couple of years. But there's a 3 by the Pistons. Jamal Murray to Olynyk. He's going to make that basket. And this game feels just about over. Let's see if the Clippers can do something interesting. Got a made jumper by John Wall there. Now here's John Wall to Kawhi Leonard, who does make a 3. Hold on. I mean, this game's pretty much over. It's a 7-point game. But let's see. Pritchard can't make that 3. Yeah, it's over. For sure, it was already over, but I was curious to see if Pritchard can make that 3. Because he's a pretty good shooter, in real life. So, yeah, this game is pretty much over as Holiday holds the ball. And Pistons, despite me saying that their roster maybe wasn't all that great, they got an impressive win against this Clippers team, so much respect to them for that. As we check out the box scores, 19 points for Jamal Murray, 30 points for Kawhi Leonard. Let's watch some Kings Magic. We got DeAndre Jordan with the tip in there. And then a missed basket for Dame and the Magic. I don't know if I make the move this season, but I do think I would have moved Dame after this season. There's Klay Thompson with a 3. I think if I would have continued the sim, Dame would have been the big free agent move or big trade piece, because this Magic team has really gone nowhere. As you see a steal. I mean, they're looking bad already. to start the season. There's Kobe White with the missed shot. Miles Bridges with the rebound and the putback. 99-90 is the final, or not the final score. Jesus Christ. There's a pass to DeAndre Jordan, who's still pretty nimble, making a dunk. KCP with a corner three, no good. Jordan with the rebound. It's a 9-point game. Klay Thompson with a jumper. 11-point game now. This game is looking like it's pretty much over. Bridges for three. That'll do it. 110-96. Yeah. Magic do not look good. I'm sorry to say it. Let's check out Knicks versus Nuggets. Probably shouldn't be as close as it is. Basket there for the Nuggets. There's Schroeder to his teammate for a three. Who is that, number 25? Oh, Mbamute. Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay. 97-93 now is the score. Dwight Howard as a Knick, wearing number 55, is quite bizarre. And here he is making a basket for New York. Darius Garland missing a basket. Pascal Siakam with a rebound and a bucket. Then we got Schroeder with a dunk over Jokic, making it a 4-point game. Darius Garland. Garland with the pass to Luka. Luke gets the screen, makes the jumper. 103-97. Schroeder. And passing it to Mbamute, who drives. The pass to... my God, I can't do this anymore. I'm losing it. I couldn't make out who that was, but Bogdanovich. Jesus Christ, man, I am losing it. Luka Doncic is going to pull it for the jumper and sink it. 107-100. How about a missed shot there by Otto Porter, basket by Siakam. Final score 123-104. Nuggets really pulled away. 24 points by Obi Toppin, which didn't really see much of him on the court, but there's Jokic. Maybe I'll use Jokic as my thumbnail, but I'll figure it out later. John Morant with the basket. Always nice to see John Morant. We don't get to see him that much because the Pacers are usually not that good. But here's Chandler to Collins. The basket. 4-point game. Satoransky is going to drive. Pass to Ayton for the dunk. Make it a 2-point game. John Morant. The screen. Morant. The pass to Whiteside for the dunk. I probably should have made Whiteside retire. Is this the same play as last time? That seemed very similar, but I guess they happened in two successive plays. You got Deion Waiters out there. Making a jumper. There you go. 4-point game. You got John Morant handling the ball. The alley-oop to Whiteside. 101-95. Deion Waiters. Yeah, it's fun to see some of these guys still in the league. I think that's Jeff Green. No, that's Draymond Green. Why do I always think it's Jeff Green? There's other Greens. Satoransky, jumper. 103-99 now is the score. Nets can't seem to, Oh, there they go. There you go. They made a jumper there. Now it's a one-score game. John Morant, though, passing it to Tyreek Evans. And Tyreek with the pass to Collins for the reverse jam. Pacers will win 109-104, 22-12 for Ayton, 26 for John Morant. As you see, maybe John Morant is the cover athlete of this episode. I gotta look up and see if some of these guys, whether or not they've been thumbnails before. Bradley Beal so far leading the league in scoring. I guess it's December 1st now, and 20 games played, and Bradley Beal averaging 32.7 per game, which is pretty cool to see him up there. You got Porzingis and Michael Porter Jr. beneath him. There's Trae Young in assists, etc., etc. How about standings? Sonics are in first place so far. Didn't really see them yet. The Rockets, the Clippers, the Kings, the Thunder, the Nuggets, Lakers, and Warriors. In the West, then you got the East. Sixers, Wizards, Bulls, Bucks, Heat. It's going to be a fun season. A lot of fun teams. We're looking forward to seeing how the rest of the season, the final season, how it plays out. And thank you very much for watching. Subscribe, like. Talk to you later.